Hello everybody, welcome to episode 1 part 2 of Minds of an Epileptic. We're discussing seizures, and as we did in the last one we discussed drop attacks. In this one I want to discuss complex partial seizures. This type of seizure is an awkward one to discuss because people who don't have epilepsy actually can't see this one. It is only a small type of seizure, but it's not even noticeable like an absence is. Complex partial seizures are quite a difficult one to describe, sorry for that. I'm going to do my best, so I am a sufferer of this as well, and no, don't worry, I'm not going to do everything I suffer with. I'm just doing the ones first that I can describe the best. Anyway, it is like loads of little funny things happening in your head but not going any further. Maybe something feels weird along the side of your forehead, getting feelings of a stroking sensation, and then you go out of the back of your head where you feel like you've got bit of a migraine coming on, but it's not the migraine that goes in. And then you've got the other side of it where you get like weird funny feelings going into your eye sockets. It's very strange. It is an awkward one to fully describe. I mean, inadequate objects moving, that's another part of it. Things that shouldn't move are moving, and obviously looking at lines, say like if you're going into a centre to have a checkup and they've got those weird panels on the door or along the bottom of the walk-in entrance, they look like they move most of the time, and there isn't actually a medication for this. You have to grin and bear it, and half the time it gives you a headache. I suffer with this quite a lot, and my biggest thing is having headaches every day. I'm sure there are many other people out there that do suffer with it, and different things happen to different people. Seeing colours all the time is one of them. A bit like auras, but colours that move, and obviously little white lights going before their eyes, and the sharpness of the little strokes across the head. An easier way to put this I can describe is actually a scene from a movie. Do you remember the final encounter where the spaceship lights up? We got and the little lights and all that. Imagine that happening in your brain. That's what happens when it's in the side of an epileptic man's brain. It is uncomfortable, not very nice, and it is one of the ones we don't like telling you about because we seem and sound like psychopaths. Not a lot of people understand, not a lot of people will ever understand because they can't see it. Another part of it is derealization. Derealization, although it's a term for something being disconnected to reality, it is actually caught up in complex partial seizures, where you do, on the complex partial seizure side, some of you may know this, and some epileptics who keep quiet about this because obviously they know it's not true, is where you feel like you're the only person and everyone around you or anything you can see isn't actually real. You're because you're not looking through their eyes, you're not walking through their shoes, you're actually going through your own, and they're not looking through your eyes or walking in your shoes. And it can be strange and very scary for us, especially if you're not one to be outspoken. When you go to the doctors and try explaining this, they just fob it off a little bit because they don't understand themselves. It would be nice if we had someone when we have this side of things we could talk to about and someone who does understand, and maybe more people connecting with each other, because it's a weird feeling as well as everything else. So imagine all that with migraines and things moving that shouldn't. That's called complex partial seizures because it's loads of different things happening at once and you can't control it. This has been Minds of an Epileptic. Thank you for listening to episode 1 part 2. I hope you have learned something, and please come back for part 3. I'm going to be talking about focal seizures. In some ways focal seizures is a bit like some of the stuff you get from the complex partial seizures, but some of the feelings are different. Thank you for watching and goodbye.